All right, I want to talk about this common theme that I think business owners get like really excited about is like this visionary and operator dynamic. And there's like, I have this book right here, Traction. It's a great book. But they talk about like you have a visionary and you have an operator. And so you have somebody that like thinks about the vision for the future and somebody that implements the daily stuff to get it done. If you have that in your company, that's great. It's a really cool thing. What I find the challenge is you often have a solo entrepreneur, somebody that started a company, and they're kind of like a jack of all trades. So they can do all these different things. They're like sales, marketing, operations, IT, finance. I mean, they're like everything, you know, they're the accountant, they're the tax person, they're like everything. And what they get in their head is like, well, I'm just so overworked. If I could just hire this operator, they could come in and do what I'm doing, and I could finally think straight. Good luck. It's incredibly challenging. Now, if you have somebody that's like started with you from day one, and they've learned the business from day one, they've learned all the complexity from day one, then that could work. Maybe they've been your right hand person for years. They know in and out what you're doing, and they just need the title and the permission to execute on the daily. That could work. If you hire somebody that's an outside executive and bring them in and they shadow you for like a year or 2 years, depending on how complex your job is, depending on how complex your business is, then that could work. But to think you're gonna just like cut a check for an executive that's gonna come in and just lighten your workload, very unlikely to happen. It's very difficult. If you have a very simple business, maybe it's more likely. But this is it's not an easy thing. Think about it like this, like Leonardo da Vinci, he was the mathematician, he was the scientist, he was the architect, he was the builder, he was the tester. I mean, he was everything, right? Like he had like jack of all trades, like had it all. What college course, what college major teaches you all of that? People are very specifically trained nowadays. They're very trained in like hyper-focused in one area, hyper-focused in another area. So it's very difficult if you're an entrepreneur and you have all these different things going on that you have built the skills up over years to manage all these different things, to bring someone in, drop them in your shoes, and expect them to do a good job. It can be incredibly difficult. So I'll tell you what has worked for me because I've struggled. I've tried to find the operator that could just do it all. I'll tell you later in like my personal lessons in a future video about how I did this, and in 13 months I lost $750,000. So it hasn't worked for me. Most of the businesses I have are more complex, and so it's a struggle to do that. So here's what's worked for me. You hire young people, you know, I'm not saying discriminate on age, I'm just saying people earlier in their career that are hungry for leadership and hungry to learn those skills. So they have a focus of, let's say, operations, they have the focus of IT, they have a focus on marketing, they have a focus on customer service, and then you develop them into a leader. You know, if you have like, so in my company, I try to hire a COO to run basically 4 different departments. Eventually what I ended up doing is I hired 4 different VPs, those people in the end earlier in their career, and develop them into executives. That is it's more expensive. Well, it could be more expensive. I mean, you'd go to hire an executive, it could cost you $400,000 for like a seasoned corporate executive. You know, if you're going to hire these younger entry-level positions that grow into leaders, it could be 50, 60, 80, 90, 100, depending on what the position is. But when you have 4 people that are focused on something, the output is going to be so much greater than one person that's focused on 4 different things. So if you need help developing leaders, that's my skill set. So 365regroup.com. Go and fill out the form. And that's my favorite thing to do, is to get people that are looking to become leaders and develop them into high output leaders that people want to follow. Incredibly important. You have to be a good leader. If you walk in one direction and people don't like you, you're walking alone. But if people love you, not only will they follow you, but other people will start to follow you. Start to see the joy of walking in this direction with this person, and people just keep coming. And that's what you need, because if you're going to accomplish a lot, you're going to need a lot of people. But the only way to get a lot of people working for you is if they like you. Or you could cut like really big checks, and people will come work for you. They'll hate you. They won't do as good of a job, and it'll cost you a lot more.